I sound redundant here with that question about going through the process and having all the project itself developed. I'm not sure. I mean, again, the analogy I used at cell towers. What would be the town's benefit should your client wish to spin off sections or sell off sections to an investor? Now that all the work's done, the field work's done, what's in it for the town?
Well, it doesn't change the obligations due to the town. So if this gets spun off or it gets sold, these obligations run with whomever ends up with the project, similar to the plans themselves. This is part of the permit, so this is a condition to the permit. In fact, the ordinance requires this stop to happen before we get the preliminary plan, and then this will be incorporated as part of the preliminary plan, recorded with the preliminary plan, and then followed through with the final plan. So it's a stipulation of approval.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
David, does this agreement state that if it's sold, that this tax stabilization agreement is on the project no matter who owns it? Is that in there?
That's the way it runs, right? Again, just so the record's clear, the only two documents before the council tonight are the revised tax stabilization plan and the proposed decommissioning plan. The other 14 emails that have kind of been referred to tangentially, obviously arrived late Friday. They are not in the packet, but I think Mr. Mancini has accurately indicated that they're an attempt to break out 9 development plans and 9 tax stabilization plans. That's one part of what they were trying to do, which the council has to consider. But the concepts that need to be run through each one of those individual agreements is consistent, or should be consistent, with the concepts that we're talking about. With regard to each documents that we've been looking at least one of them for 2 meetings, and the other one at least for 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I have another question. So 9 limited liability corporations, is this the first time that something like this has been done in the state? Is this common practice? Like, is there precedent to set 9 limited liabilities versus one whole? Because it says either individually or collectively it's the project, so it's really 9 is one, but...
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it has been done. It's been done it's commonly done in large developments. I'll give you an example. Dowling Village, believe it or not, is more than one entity in their condominium parcels. So it's not an unusual way to do it. It's not an unusual way to finance it.
Mixed use though, council. That was mixed use. Down
It's mixed use, right?
Yeah, this is
totally different.
Totally
But
different.
the concept of breaking down entities so that entities own different aspects
Yeah, this is
is
one,
not unusual.
This is green development. This isn't like
This
a
is
Planet
one.
Fitness and a Kohl's and a Walmart.
No, this is.
They're whole different animals.
It is, but it's not. If you look at, for example, a plaza, it's one land, but different owners sometimes on that one piece of land. This is going to be one solar field. It's going to have different owners, but they all have to act in concert. So it's not like you have one guy, it's not like one thing's happening here. It's not. It's all intertwined, it's all connected, and the way it's connected is by way of the approvals. You're only approving one development in one solar field with an output established at 38.4 with a formula for tax payments, a formula for decommissioning, and a formula for one-time payment. So it is essentially one umbrella. It's also done in many ways where you have one major corporation and several subsidiaries under it.
The project gets approval from the planning board.
Correct.
Tax stabilization agreement
Gets
is approved by the council.
Right.
So we're just going to have 9 tax stabilization agreements
Correct.
on one project.
Yeah, one
That's
project.
basically what it's going to.
That's right. And those 9 agreements are going to run with the one project.
So is each one 38.4?
No.
So it's 38.4 collective.
And collectively, it's
And you said each one could have a higher or lower?
one could have
so-
4 megawatts, one's going to have 5 megawatts, one may have 3 megawatts, but it all has to collectively come to 38.4. And the documents even state that it's going to be collectively defined as the project. So whenever you see the project running through the document, it's one project, it's 38.4 megawatts.
Everybody understands?
Yeah, I understand. That's what I showed.
Yeah, we just,
Ever stop, because right now, I don't know how many iterations of agreements I have, there's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
And the last one we got, Counselor, if you'd be so kind, my eyes aren't what they used to be.
Yeah, neither
I
am
have no idea what this font is, but
Yeah.
maybe it's 8. Whereas the last one we received with the client was a 12, I can read that. Would you be so kind as to, when you print out required stuff?
Absolutely, and so that's actually, that prints out, the font you're seeing is printing out that way because it's redlined. So when it gets redlined, the font becomes smaller, and then the column has the comments to it. So,
You can hide formatting, and you can expand it.
yeah, well, we'll take
You
care
can
of
do
it.
it.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Okay,
They definitely
thanks.
can do it, but I just want, there's a science actually behind that font. And we do apologize for the multitude of documents back and forth. It's common for lawyers, we see it all the time because we're always chasing back, but it can get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, my dining room table is only so large, if I start going from one, it's getting ugly.
Yeah.
I have another question, sorry. So, this agreement would be effective, so you said the nameplate capacity, it differs from the expected capacity as of the commercial operation date. Pending everything goes well, assuming we're at the end of everything, when do you anticipate to start? And do we anticipate that like any different, in terms of nameplate capacity, do we anticipate there could be more efficiency, we could have more or less?
No, because we anticipate that this will probably go online next year, so we don't see anything changing between now and next year as far as that. I mean, right as it is now, the panels that they have and the panels they will get will be the best that's in the market now.
you have a question or comment, Claire?
No, we're just going back to the time when this was all presented in the first round, and a lot of this was made clear and is true to form, which was told to us in the past.
Yes, I just think I'll let it go with
As
that.
far as the
Now
date,
we need to get the details down.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Any other comments? I just think that as a council, we need to know that we have 3 pieces that we can deal with on this. One is the tax stabilization agreement, which really is that $7 per
Yeah.
kilowatt. That's really what the tax stabilization
Yeah.
agreement is. And then under the development agreement, it could have that one-time payment fee, and it's going to have a decommissioning fee. Those are the 3 things that we need to be concerned with.
well, I'm sure, on the original, that one-term payment, town to use as seen, will come forth.
What she said was I can't get that.
All right, no, and the initial.
This is schoolyard voice.
Yeah, this is my schoolyard voice, plus I had a little surgery done, and when I did, they broke all my teeth. When we began this process, Mr. Di Pasquale said that when he does this in cities and towns, it's a one-time, I don't know what, I always call him a spiff, that you can use for the betterment of the town. And if I'm correct, back then, it was 250,000.
Based on more megawatts. So megawatts have contracted, they're less megawatts, is that correct, Ms. Manzi?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's about
hopefully-
100, I think it's just shy of 200,000 now.
Yeah.
And you can utilize it however.
Oh, there's many places we can use it, trust me.
See, I'm really not adverse to somehow this limited liability cooperation or this setup. And the state changes their review process. As far as expanding, I'm all for not cutting down any more trees. So if you had better technology and you could get more megawatts in a smaller footprint, perfect. So, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't think we can make, I know we can't take a vote tonight, anyways. All we can do is go through the review of all that information that we got. On the next council thing, make sure that the terms are all
Yep.
agreeable, and then after that, we'll have to have a public
Public
hearing.
hearing. And we should have answers from Mr. Leclerc. I think he got us. get your answers.
Make sure you go to the planning board.
These are just working documents.
Why don't you jump in the back of the water? It's warm.
Mr. Mancini, I don't know if you read what I was saying.
No, I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to review, we can't take any action tonight, we're gonna have to review all those documents and the 9 different agreements and stuff, make sure that they're what we want. We'll probably be back in 2 weeks or the next council meeting to go over and make sure that all the language we're agreeable to, and then we have to have a public hearing to go and actually ratify the stabilization agreement. So,
At this point, I think you have everything you need, so we won't
yeah.
bombard you with any additional emails or other documentation. Everything is there, answers, a response to the questions that you have.
Hey, yeah, one more
Yeah.
statement. Did your office prepare all this printout?
No, that was prepared by the superseding.
Okay, I really appreciate that because that's what I had asked that on August 5th, that information be prepared and handle copies for council, legal, administrator, and maybe 1 or 2 for press, so that
Yeah,
They can have that
I'll relay
information.
that to them, and I'll make sure you guys can get binders before probably by early next week. So you have that with town hall and another copy for the public.
I was just going to suggest that, and perhaps an electronic copy that's clean,
Yeah, we do
that can be put on for the public hearing on the website.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of material here that people are going to want to see. And
Yeah.
I'm sure the clerk's office is not going to be, you know.
We're not at that point yet, though.
I know, but will that be something that?
Absolutely, yes. What we'll do is when we're ready, we'll have,
We're still at least 1 meeting away from that.
yeah, we'll have 5 binders for the council members. We'll have 1 for the clerk's office and then just 1 for the public available. So, and it'll all be clean copies.
So if I understand correctly, Mr. Mancini, this information that you have will be put in a binder within a couple of days, is that?
If it's final, I can do that.
I haven't looked at it yet, but I'll be glad to hand this back to you, so you don't
No,
have to. If it's gonna come in a couple of days, I'm okay.
No, have it so you can start reviewing it. What you have now is red lines. What
I'm trying to tie you down for a couple of days, Mr. Mancini.
I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a problem. I can do that. And then what I'll do is I'll have, because you've got, we'll make it clean copies so that you don't have the confusion of the red line. And so we make it all clean copies for you.
So we would have 9 tax stabilization agreements, and then each one would be specific.
Correct, yeah, with 9 development agreements as well.
And Mr. President, my suggestion is that we don't go to the trouble of generating the binders of electronic copy until you have finalized it. Because
That was my point, we're still
the
one meeting away
for
from
the
that.
public hearing. I want them to,
All right, so why don't we wait till it's final?
at least
And
for
we'll
review of
yeah.
public hearing.
Thanks.
I think you agree.
Just if I'm following this correctly, Mr. Iglesias, you said that we would not require a binder until council has looked at all this information, has vetted it, and posed all the questions that we would have to.
And any changes could be given back to the applicant. The applicant generate theoretically a final copy during that discussion. The final copy would be posted for public hearing and put on the website. Putting multiple revised copies is going to just confuse the public and confuse all of us.
Agreed.
If
Right,
you
so
have,
the next meeting, we're gonna review this again, hopefully get all the final changes done,
Yep.
and they can make the final copy for the public hearing.
Yeah, and if you don't mind moving forward, Mr. Mancini,
Yep.
date them as they get, as these renditions or these iterations change, please date them so we
Yeah, I
can
agree.
line them up.
I agree.
Thanks. The paginated, which is a plus.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. Believe it or not, I'd like to, I always ask people to put their initials and the date, so you know who reviewed it and what date it was reviewed on.
Sure.
Similar to what engineers do on their plans.
Plans,
Yeah,
yep,
yes.
sounds good, thank you.
I apologize for that.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Steve.
thank you, thank you.
Next item, discussion by council